Hi, I'm going to make some cider. It looks very much like this cider. It tastes really nice. It takes maybe 5 minutes to make it, 2 weeks to ferment it, and about 2 weeks to drink it. So I'll just crack into it. First thing is, you need a barrel. Here is such a barrel. Any container that's about 25 to 30 litres is perfect, as long as it's kind of food grade, you know, glass, plastic, whatever you want. The main thing is it has to be sterilised. The easiest way to do that is bleach. Put a litre of water in and 2 tablespoons of bleach, give it a shake, a very clean container, give it a shake and pour it away, sterilise. Or you can go to a brew shop and buy a brewing sanitizer. Sanitize thing. You also need some sultanas, a touch of white sugar, and the most important thing, apple juice. So I use Kerry apple juice because I think it works the best, but the most important part is this: no preservatives. If you have preservatives in it, it just won't ferment right, and you'll end up with kind of half-hearted stuff. Okay, so it's pretty simple. You start off, you boil a little bit of water, about half a litre. That water's boiling, get a good handful of sultanas and chop them up on a nice clean work surface. About that much. Yeah, chop sultanas, get a bowl, any kind of bowl. Chop sultanas in the bowl, boiling water on top. Make sure the sultanas are submerged and set it aside. Sultanas add tannins, which gives you more mouthfeel. That gives just a bit more body to the cider. Also has a little bit of a slightly deeper flavour to the juice, which is good. Okay, carrying on. Next thing you do is get your white sugar, get some scales and weigh yourself a kilo. Now if you want your cider to be around 4% or less, skip this step. Otherwise your cider will come out at 5 to 5.5, which is what I like it to be. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. To dissolve the sugar, get a bowl, measure yourself a kilo of sugar into it, and then 1 litre of water straight out the hot tap. And we stir those together until it's pretty much dissolved. Oh, almost forgot. Into that bowl you add the juice of 1/4 of 1 lemon. That's 1/4 of 1 lemon, just the juice. 1/4 of a lemon. Barrel. As I said, most important thing, sterilised barrel. Add your sugar water. Give your sultanas a quick stir. Add those. And then add your juice. We're going to use 5 3-litre containers, so 15 litres of apple. Okay, that's that. So all up at the moment we have about 15 litres. So we want to put 5 litres of water into there to top it up. Right, 5 litres of water. Alright, sweet as, I reckon that's it. Yep, bouncing 20 litres. Perfect. So then we put the lid on just for 1 second. So to make alcohol out of sugar, we need yeast. And this is the yeast I use, cider. You don't have to use this yeast. I use it because it's very tolerant of higher temperatures, and at the moment it's middle of summer, it's like 25 degrees in here, and I don't want to use a temperature controlled fridge, so I use Saft cider because it can cope up to 30 degrees easy peasy and will ferment very fast. It is essentially just champagne yeast. So you can also use something like SN9 wine yeast, or if you're more patient and you have a lower temperature, somewhere around 18 degrees that you can leave it, you can use a brewer's yeast, and the brewing yeast I find gives an even cleaner taste. So it's completely up to you, but I use Saft cider. As we simply pull it open and pour it in. And then I'm going to sterilise the spoon and I'm going to give it a stir. Alright, so pretty much now we leave it somewhere with a good constant temperature that's not in direct sunlight for about a week. Maybe a week and a half, depending on how you like it, and then we'll come back to it. But that's it for now. Quick, isn't it? Right, it's been about a week, 6 days, 7 days. It's been really hot. Been about 27 degrees inside the house most of the time, so the yeast has been going crazy. Really enjoys the heat. So I'm going to take a taste, which is the best way to tell. As soon as it starts to get a little bit dry, you know you're there. Or if you've got one, you can use a hydrometer, as you saw earlier, to do the same job. So we'll do a bit of both. Okay, let's get into it. First we need a very clean, sterilised glass. Alright, so you can see it's gone murky. That's all the yeast in suspension working away. If you put your ear to it, you can actually hear the glass fizzing. So I'll give it a taste. That's nice. It's just starting to get dry, and at that point that's where I normally would stop it. And we'll give it a measure on the hydrometer just to double check. Okay, that's it. Perfect. Tastes nice, just getting dry. Worked out well on the hydrometer. We're going to stop it. The way we stop it is we use a wine stabilizer. That completely kills all the yeast inside of here. So it will settle out. All the yeast will die and it will settle to the bottom and you end up with lovely clear cider. If you do this way, you will not be able to bottle condition it. That's quite important. I'm going to keg this cider. What I always like to do as well is drink it still. It's really nice as a still cold drink straight out of the fridge. Alright, let's do it. Okay, here's the stuff. Wine stabilizer, potassium sorbate. If you ever see E2O2 written on the bottle, that's what it is. So for 20 litres of wine or cider, you would use 2 teaspoons of this stuff to stop that growing. The only other thing I like to do now is I like to get all of those sultanas out, the ones that are floating on the surface, you'll see them. Just use a sieve and just make sure it's really clean. So we'll whip those out now. Sweet as. So now you put this in the coldest place you can for about a week. That could be underneath your house, in a cupboard that's cold. In my case, I've got a fridge that I put it in, and that really helps to chill it, and all of the sediment, all of the yeast will drop straight out, and we're left with a nice clear cider. Alright, we'll come back to that in a bit. See you in a week. Right, it's been a week. It's been in the fridge for a week, so I'm going to grab it out and take a look at it, and then I'm going to transfer it into another barrel just to store it, to get it off of the yeast. I'm also going to get some to drink that I'm going to put in my fridge, which is I'm going to put into an old Kerry bottle that I used for the apple juice. Alright, I'll go grab it. Okay, so it's been in the fridge for a week. If you haven't got a fridge, just put it in the coldest place you can find. The same thing will still happen, it might just take a little bit longer. We'll get a glass and have a taste. Alright, this one's come out not too clear. Doesn't really matter. We'll give it a taste. Whoa. Tastes really good though. Really, really good. So now I'm going to siphon this off of the yeast that's left at the bottom and into another barrel. And you can also put it, as I said, into these. You can leave these in your fridge, and you can have it as a nice still drink, which is what I always do anyway. At least 3 litres of it, because it's bloody gorgeous stuff. I might crack into that. Oh, bloody hell, that's nice. A quick note on siphoning. When you siphon from one barrel to another, be it that you use a siphoning tube or one of these auto siphons, always start from the bottom. Don't have it up in the air. You don't want to have it splashing into the barrel. It will oxygenate the cider and it won't taste very nice in a few days. Alright, there you have it. You could transfer a whole lot into these. If you leave it sit somewhere still and cold, like a fridge, you don't use that much, you've got a beer fridge, put it in there, so it's not going to get broken around. In a few weeks they'll completely clear out, but it's more than drinkable now. It's bloody tasty, and it's only taken 2 weeks. It's a winner. Easiest cider in the world. Cheers, have a go.